Whenever a celebrity gets into or out of shape for a role, it almost always makes headlines, but a few stand out above the rest. I'm Adam Andrews with Where Are They Now, and this is the top 10 times celebrities dramatically transform themselves just for a role. But before we begin though, I just wanted to say that these actors do this full time and they have the money, time, and resources to do so. I guess I just want to say there's nothing wrong with being inspired by a physical transformation, but it takes a lot of hard work and results vary for everyone. Don't be disheartened, just be realistic with any transformation you are trying to make. Okay, moving on. Number 10, Christian Bale. Honestly, when it comes to Christian Bale and transforming for a role, pick one. Seems like every time he lands a new role, a different physical form of Christian Bale arrives on Earth. He was 190 pounds in excellent shape for American Psycho. He brought it all the way down to 120 pounds and almost terrifyingly skinny for The Machinist. Then in 6 months, he somehow managed to go all the way up to 220 pounds of pure muscle for the first Batman movie, which he then slimmed down to 190 pounds to match with the studio's vision. Then for American Hustle, the actor went up to 228 to 230 pounds of mostly pudge, which he returned to later for Vice, and then he went back down for 155 pounds for Ford versus Ferrari. It's insane, but what's crazier is that I'm just listing a few of his various weights because in between almost every movie that I mentioned, he was constantly fluctuating from muscular and heavy to thin and gaunt and everywhere in between. I don't care if he had a moment of anger on set, I respect every actor on this list's dedication to their craft. Number 9, Kumail Nanjiani. When Kumail Nanjiani was cast in the MCU's Eternals movie, he took it all upon his own shoulders to physically transform himself into someone who could stand shoulder to shoulder with the Captain Americas and Thors and other Chris's. He was cast in December of 2019 and then set out on his 14-month process, at the end of which he posted a picture of his new physique to Instagram, and honestly, it's incredibly impressive. Even though neither the studio nor the director asked him to do it, Nanjiani said, quote, "If I'm playing the first South Asian superhero, I want to look like someone who can take on Thor or Captain America." And you know what? He totally does look like he could. But there's another bonus to this. He says that he is now being offered roles that went beyond the stereotypical nerdy trope for South Asian men. He said that he only used to get offered specific kinds of roles where he is either fixing your computer or planning something at the stock exchange, and this transformation really changed that for him. Number 8, Hilary Swank. When Hilary Swank went from her usual physique to that of a boxer who has been training since they were a kid in Million Dollar Baby, it took quite a bit of work. The best way to explain it is to just use the actor's own words. In an interview, she said her training was 2.5 hours of boxing and 1.5 hours to 2 hours lifting weights every day, 6 days a week. She gained 19 pounds of muscle starting at 110 and going up to 129. She had to eat 210 grams of protein a day, eating every hour and a half, drinking egg whites with all her meals. She had to drink flax oil as it's an important oil for your brain and also just to keep everything moving when you're eating that much protein. Then, on top of that, she needed 9 hours of sleep a night to get the most benefit from her workout. But she had to wake up in the night and drink protein shakes because she couldn't go that long without eating. I'm kinda tired just thinking about that, but it's somewhat inspiring, honestly. Number 7, Jake Gyllenhaal. Just like Christian Bale, Jake Gyllenhaal is another actor who has made serious changes to his body in order to slip into different characters and roles. From 2012's End of Watch, where he packed on the muscle to play an ex-marine turned police officer, to 2014's Nightcrawler, where he dropped about 30 pounds with a calorie-restrictive diet and late-night running to play the incredibly creepy Lou Bloom. Then the next year, in a time frame of 6 months, he completely reversed that with an intense exercise and diet regime that turned him into a beast of a heavyweight boxing champion in Southpaw. Being able to spend so much time focusing on the body while also working on the psyche of a character is incredibly impressive, especially when his character performances are just so good. Number 6, Matthew McConaughey. In 2013's Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew McConaughey played Ron Woodruff, a man who was diagnosed with stage 4 HIV in the mid-1980s. Now, in an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, Matthew said he wanted to lose all the weight to show the reality of living with the advanced stages of HIV, as he paid homage to Woodruff's life and legacy in detail. To achieve the goal he wanted, McConaughey went from the normal 188 pounds he's normally at to 135 pounds in 5 months. To do that, it was mainly a change in diet, where he would eat 5 ounces of fish for lunch and dinner, small amounts of vegetables with each meal, and egg whites for breakfast with a daily treat of tapioca pudding. He also limited his exercise down. He has actually said that it wasn't entirely grueling or anything, he just had to commit to reaching the goal that he wanted. I'm gonna write that down for my own workout goals. Number 5. Michael B. Jordan. For Michael B. Jordan's transformation into Adonis Creed for the Rocky offshoot movie Creed, Jordan enlisted trainer Corey Calliette to shape him into someone who could believably be the son of Carl Weathers' Apollo Creed. Michael B. Jordan has never really been out of shape, but it's the serious amount of muscle and mass he put on that just blows people's minds. He put on a total of 24 pounds of muscle for the first movie in the series, saying that his training made him feel muscles that he never knew he had. But then there was a sequel, and he got even bigger for that to match the growth in his career. Jordan had to train like a boxer, 45 to 60 minutes daily of cardio, tons of ab workouts. For building muscle, Jordan focused on supersets, lifting or curling dumbbells interspread with push-ups or another workout. And then he pushed himself with circuit training, and then just to top it off, 3 hours of boxing training after every workout. Now I do like 30 push-ups in the morning max and just call it a day. So that's kind of impressive. Number 4. Charlize Theron. Just like Jake Gyllenhaal and Christian Bale, Charlize Theron is famous for her transformative approach to playing new characters. One of the biggest changes that shocked a lot of people was 2003's Monster, where Charlize transformed herself into real-life serial killer Eileen Wuornos. For this role, the physical transformation was not actually something deeply discussed. She did indeed put on weight for the role, but it wasn't an intention of just getting fat. Charlize towed this incredible line to become someone who wasn't exactly in great shape, but who could absolutely handle themselves. She made her body a reflection of the lifestyle that Eileen lived. In addition to that, Charlize had hairstylist Katie Swanson distress her own hair to match the killer's uncared for head of hair, and had her eyebrows bleached and thinned to almost nothing. It honestly looks as if she's wearing a full-on mask, but the only prosthetics were on Theron's eyelids to make them heavier, and makeup artist Tony G airbrushed layers of translucent washes of tattoo ink, texturized with green marble sealant to give Theron's face a weather-beaten look. Obviously, she wore fake teeth though, so there's that. Number 3. Will Smith. Prior to Will Smith's role in 2001's Ali, he was a pretty slim guy, standing at 6'2" and weighing about 185 pounds. It was actually a point of contention when he was cast as the heavyweight boxer Muhammad Ali, because no one thought a guy that slim could actually pull it off. Well, he definitely proved them all wrong, as not only did he match the boxer's voice and heart, but he packed on 35 pounds of muscle to look like a real heavyweight boxer. Smith hit the gym, working out 5 days a week for 6 hours a day for almost a year, putting him in the best shape he had ever been in. As well as the boxing training, Will had to do a lot of endurance training, and some of it included running through snow, as well as a lot of weightlifting. Will Smith's bench press increased from 175 pounds at the start of the year to 365 pounds by the time shooting for the film started. Will said that he didn't want to just look like a fighter, but he wanted to have the mindset of a fighter, and his time spent training put him right there. Number 2. Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt's transformation from his time in Parks and Rec to becoming Marvel's Star-Lord and his subsequent action film career made a huge splash. It was an insane shift, losing around 60 pounds of fat while also gaining an impressive amount of muscle. Pratt says that he put in 3 or 4 hours a day of just consistent hard work. Marvel also paired Pratt with a personal trainer, Duffy Gaver, and nutritionist Phil Goglia. And his training program reportedly included sessions of P90X, running, swimming, boxing, kickboxing, and even a triathlon. Pratt also followed a low-carb, high-protein diet. Pratt has also said that he lost 35 pounds in 6 6 weeks by running 5 or 6 miles a day and eating leafy green salads and protein shakes. When he started out, he weighed almost 300 pounds from his Parks and Recs days, and from that to his physique nowadays, it is indeed inspiring. And in at number 1 is 50 Cent. Have you ever seen 50 Cent in All Things Fall Apart? No? Well, 50 Cent usually looks like a massive house of muscle weighing on average around 214 pounds, but for his role playing a football player who had been diagnosed with cancer, he wanted to do right by those who he knew who had suffered from the same thing, and to portray the tragic reality that those who suffer from cancer live through. He ended up shedding off 60 pounds by going on an all-liquid diet and spending 3 hours a day on the treadmill for 9 weeks to bring himself all the way down to 160 pounds total. He is almost completely unrecognizable in this role. Now, you don't immediately think 50 Cent when you're talking about celebrity transformations for roles, but you should really start. He is a dedicated performer and just impressive guy who went the extra mile to honor the friends that he lost to cancer. Alright, that's all the time I've got. I'm Adam Andrews with Where Are They Now? Stay safe and well informed out there. Toodles.